who was my mentor and my inspiration to become a choreographer and teacher. So I think that this is a pretty cool way to celebrate our 40th recital. And I would like to know a little bit about what made you decide to open your own dance studio.
What made me decide to open my own studio? I'm really not sure. I always liked teaching. Even as a child, I taught. I used to teach my mother, who was a dancer all her life, in our living room, and she never left on that she knew how to do the steps. She always let me teach them to her. I remember in the 5th or 6th grade, I had a dancing school in our basement, one day a week, every week after school, and all my friends paid me $1 to teach them how to dance. And I thought that was just super great. Then one day I got a little big for my britches and starting to put all the kids on point in that, and it was time to call it quits. I started teaching with my teacher and mentor of my life when I was about 12 years old, and everything just fell into place from then. I was running a studio on Saturdays on my own for her in Bridgeville, Pennsylvania, and from out of high school I just went into teaching 6 days a week in every county and area all around the tri-state, until 7 years later I went on my own and opened my own studio. It was just always a passion that was inside me from day one.
So enlighten us a little about your first location and the name you chose for your studio.
Well, when your dad and I got married, he owned a house on Mount Washington, and I was teaching for Bella School of Dancing, and because I lived on Mount Washington, I ran a studio for that studio one day a week in the Sonosum Club on Mount Washington. Shortly after we were married, I became pregnant with you, and we decided that teaching for Bella involved too much traveling with the newborn, and that it was time for me to branch out and open my own studio. So in September of 1974, I opened the doors to Mount Washington Academy of Dance, about as big as our lobby is in our studio today, and we danced for 17 years there on ceramic tile. A month after we opened those doors, you were born. Not many people open their own dance studio when they're 8.5 months pregnant and carry the kid until they're 10 months. So that's where it all began, and we even danced on the sidewalks a block from the incline, and everyone would hang out their apartment windows watching. We were the entertainment of Mount Washington in that era.
I still remember that. It's some great memories, and it was really cool.
Ladies and gentlemen, introducing the 2014 Pittsburgh's